You know, the average small business spends over 75 grand a year on new equipment. That's a huge investment. But what if I told you the price tag is actually the least important part of the whole deal? Today, we're going to open up the Strategic Investor's Playbook. I'm going to show you how to maximize the return on every single piece of equipment you bring into your business. We've all seen this image before, right? The iceberg. Well, that shiny new machine you're looking at, that's just the tip. What you don't see, what's lurking right under the surface, are all the hidden costs. We're talking maintenance, repairs, and the big one, downtime. And those are the things that can sink your business fast. So, I'm going to say something that might sound a little crazy right now. The price tag is the least important part of your purchase. Seriously. And by the end of this, I think you'll not only believe me, but you'll be making way smarter and way more profitable equipment decisions for your business. All right, so let's do it. Let's look right past that sticker price and start uncovering the hidden stuff that really determines an investment's true value. First things first, we need to forget about just how quickly a machine pays for itself. True ROI is all about the big picture. It's a calculation that looks at every single cost tied to that machine, from the day you buy it to the day you finally get rid of it. That's how you figure out what it's really worth. And this is where it gets really interesting. See, high-performance equipment isn't just about being faster. It's about smart design. It's literally engineered to be more reliable, more efficient, and way easier to maintain. And that means you spend less time and money on repairs and downtime, and more time on what actually matters, growing your business. And this slide just says it all. I mean, take a look at this. On the left, you've got normal wear on a high-performance machine. The fix? A simple $60. But on the right, that's a catastrophic failure on a cheaper conventional machine. The cost to fix that? A jaw-dropping $924. And that's not even counting the lost production time. This is the hidden cost of a so-called bargain, and it's a mistake you just can't afford to make. Okay, so now you know what to look for in the machine itself. The next question is, how do you pay for it? Let's open up the financing playbook. The million-dollar question for every business owner, right? Do you lease or do you buy? Now, there's no single right answer for everyone, but there is absolutely a right answer for your business. So let's figure that out together. Let's break it down. Leasing is kind of like renting. You get the latest and greatest stuff without that long-term commitment. It's fantastic for preserving cash flow and staying flexible. Buying, on the other hand, is like owning a home. It's a long-term investment, you're building equity, it's great for stability and for the tax benefits. The right choice really just depends on your goals and where your business is at financially. And here's the good news. You are not in this alone. There are tons of financing options out there specifically for Canadian businesses, from government loans to specialized lenders. It's really all about finding the right partner to help you make that next big move. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to Isaac Lengelman, the co-founder of Open Farm. He used a direct lending program not just to buy equipment, but to literally fuel his entire international expansion. Now that's the power of smart financing. So, you've found the perfect machine, you've got the perfect financing plan lined up. Now let's talk about how to make that investment start working for you when tax season rolls around, because this is where you can really see a huge return. Okay, so in Canada, we have something called the Capital Cost Allowance, or CCA. Think of it as a way to spread out the cost of your equipment over its useful life. It's kind of like paying for a car in installments instead of all at once. The only catch is, the government usually has this thing called the half-year rule that limits how much you can deduct in that first year. But, and this is a big but, there's some good news. The government has a special program called the Accelerated Investment Incentive, or AII. And it's basically a fast-forward button for your tax deductions. It lets you claim a much bigger chunk of your equipment costs in the very first year, which means more cash in your pocket right when you need it most. Let's see how this actually plays out. Say you buy a new vehicle for your business for $38,000. Normally, you'd only get to deduct a small piece of that in year one. But with the AII, you can deduct the full 30%, which comes out to $11,400. That is a huge chunk of change you can put right back into your business. So how do you take advantage of this? It's pretty simple, actually. 1. Time your big purchases to land before the end of the year to max out your deductions. 2. Double-check that your new asset actually qualifies. 3. Keep meticulous records. You know the drill. And finally, and this is the most important one, talk to your accountant. They are the experts who can build a tax strategy that's perfectly tailored to your business. Okay, now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Because your decision to invest in new equipment, It's not just about your business. That tax incentive we just talked about, that's not just a perk. It's actually part of a national strategy. This is about the future of the entire Canadian economy. What's this number? 64%. That's the slice of the entire Canadian workforce that's employed by small and medium-sized businesses. They're the absolute lifeblood of our economy, the engine that drives our growth. But here's the problem. As Michael Roth puts it so well, we're falling behind. Our country's productivity is lagging, and that's a real threat to our future prosperity. This isn't just some abstract economic theory. This is about our jobs, our businesses, our standard of living. And here it is, the missing link. The very businesses that form the backbone of our economy are often the ones struggling to get the financing they need to grow. Without that access to capital, they can't invest in the new, high-performance equipment that would make them more productive, more competitive, and ultimately more successful. So the next time you're thinking about buying a new piece of equipment, ask yourself this one question. Is this just another expense on a spreadsheet, or is it rocket fuel for your growth? The answer to that could change everything, not just for your business, but for the country.